Hey there everybody, it's Big Dave here again, and I'm back with another Mega Maker tutorial, sort of. I wanted to do like a basic tips and tricks style tutorial video where I just kind of show you some of the basic things that you can do with some of the objects that maybe you didn't think of. Some just different ideas on ways to do things. So I've built a level here that kind of showcases some of them, and I'm basically just going to play through it real quick and just kind of narrate as I go. So let's get started. Okay, so the first couple things are involving these yellow platforms here. Now these are basic elevator platforms. The way they work is that they are stationary like this until you touch them. When you land on them, they slowly go down, and when you jump, they quickly go up. But as long as you're touching them, they will always go down. Now what you can do with this, let me get off of here. Oh, and by the way, they disappear. That's good to know. Once you get off of them, they continue going up until they disappear off screen or run into another wall. Now what you can do is make little shafts like this and use the platform as kind of a down elevator. As long as you stay on it, it's going to slowly go down into another part of your level. You can even make a little pocket in the floor like that, so it comes flush, and then you can just walk right off. Something interesting you can do with a down elevator mechanic is use these green lasers. Now, if you've played around with the lasers at all, you know that the green lasers actually just slowly drain your life. Well, if you stack 9 green lasers and then ride the elevator platform straight down through them, what it's going to do is slowly drain your life until you only have 1 hit point left. Now this would be something you might want to do if you wanted to create a level and force the player to have to get through it without getting hit at all, because if they get hit once by anything, they're dead. So it's just an interesting mechanic you can use. And once again, note that as soon as you step off these platforms, they will go up and disappear, and you can't use them anymore. So you don't want to use the down elevator thing in a place where you might need your character to have to go back up to where they came from. So another thing, in case you didn't know, the extra life icon pickup, since there's no need to actually have extra lives in this game, it doesn't work that way. What the extra life does is actually completely refill your energy. So that's definitely a useful thing to have. Now what we have here is what kind of looks like a regular jump, but it's a little bit long. So if I just walk up to the edge and try to make this jump, jumping from this block, I'm not going to make it. It's just a little bit short. But what you can do is what's generally called an edge jump, because Mega Man can walk way out over the pit and just make it to where, well, not quite like that. You want to make it to where just half of his foot is basically still on the edge, about like there. And from here, you can hold the direction you want to go plus jump, and you can make that 4-block width jump. Now another thing you can do is use the C kick. Now this is basically a dash that you could do from the ground or the air, which is very useful for crossing long distances. Especially in cases like this, which is a particularly long... So this is a particularly long jump, but we can still make it as long as we jump out and do an air dash to cross that gap. Using that air dash mechanic, you can also make jumps like this, which look basically impossible. You just have to time your air dash in the middle of your fall. Like that. You can also make even more precise jumps like this possible. So it's a fun little thing you can do. Next, what we have is what are going to be called top spin jumps. The top spin is basically kind of like an invulnerability weapon, but if you do it in the air, it allows you to bounce on top of things. When you run into things, you pass right through them if it's from the bottom. So, if we go back into this room and knowing that we can bounce on top of things as long as we're holding top spin, what we can do is kind of create a little stair-stepping effect, where you can just kind of bounce off enemies across huge gaps, really as big as you want, until you get to the other side. So it's it's a very fun way, I think, of being able to get through a big area like that. So here I kind of wanted to show the different kinds of platforms that can move you. The first one is found in the enemies section, because you can set it up to actually shoot out of the sides of its heads. Those are guns sticking out. But it's just an elevated platform that just goes back and forth between two defined points that you set, and it'll just keep doing that forever. This type of platform will go between two defined points you set, but once you get there, the platform's going to drop out and you can't use it anymore. Like so. And then this last type of platform is what I call basically a rocket platform. It's going to shoot you straight up in the air fairly quickly. So you can use this as kind of a quick up elevator to get between two places. Of course, you just want to be sure to jump off when you get to your new location, because that rocket platform will push you right into the ceiling and will kill you. So this is just a quick little area showing the kind of like ladder platforming, where you can climb up and jump to one way or the other, and grab a ladder and keep climbing. There's not a whole lot you can do with that, but it's something. Alright, now here I'm going to talk about the teleporter. Now the basic teleporter goes from one to another, and it launches you up in the air, like so. And you can actually let it go back and forth, and it'll keep launching you up in the air over and over in an endless loop until you pull out of it. So if you don't want to be launched in the air, what you can do is set your teleporter up against a ceiling. When you do that and go in it, you will drop out from above and can land on a platform below. If you still want to be shot in the air, but be able to land on a platform, you can do something like this with these breakaway platforms, because you're able to jump up through them. And that'll give you a second before, so that you can get off of it, or you can just keep flying back and forth like this for no reason. So you can either slide off or jump off, but it gives you a platform to land on. And then the last way you can do it is like this, where you can get one of those elevated platforms that normally move back and forth. You basically get it stuck in a little area like this. But these platforms are also jump-throughable, such that you can pass through them and land on top, just like that. Alright, so here's a quick section on some things you can do with bombs. The bomb platforms, as I'm sure you know, when you land on them, they're activated, and then you have however many seconds are in the bubble to get off of it before it explodes. So what we can do, as you can see, I've set up what's kind of like a gate at the end. We're going to have to run over there, hit those bombs, activate them, then get away. And so I've created a 9-second platform right next to it, so I have a place to stand, and then I can jump back and finish the room out. It's just an interesting way to be able to move from one room to another, kind of like a little locked door puzzle in a way. So here I kind of want to show the type of height you can get off of specialty jumping objects like the spring here. So your normal height is about 3 blocks off the ground, and I've put these green blocks with the circles in them so to illustrate the height of your jump. So your normal jump is about 3 blocks off the ground. A full-size spring jump is about 8 blocks off the ground, which means if you're doing full-size spring jumps, you can land on a 7-block high platform like that. Alright, so like I said, the normal jump is about 3 blocks high. A water jump is about 9 to 10 blocks high. So you can actually jump on a much higher platform like this one. Now, if you combine the power of the spring jump inside a water environment, it more than doubles for either of them. It's a higher jump than both the spring and the water put together. It's a 20-block high jump, and it is absolutely huge. You have a gigantic jump here that you can take advantage of if you're underwater. It allows you to get on top of, sorry about the weird camera thing jumping back and forth. It allows you to get on top of a 20-block high platform, which is just a huge jump. It's basically a screen and a half high jump. So, some interesting things you can do with that. The last little bit here is just a way that you can kill a boss in an interesting way that is not just shooting him. So these are the type of blocks that you can shoot and they disappear. What you can do if an enemy is on top of these blocks is keep shooting away its floor until it falls into a pit, and that will kill it. And that will kill a boss too, with ever having had to shoot it. So it's just an interesting way to try to defeat a boss without having to just shoot it directly. So let's reload this room. Another thing you can do with, let's see here, the tornado is just blow straight through these things. So if you hold down the tornado weapon, you can just like basically pass through these like they're nothing and finish out the level. The tornado can be kind of erratic. You can do some interesting platforming with it because it's kind of like a slowly hovering jump. So I wanted to show you one more thing, which is something I call shine jumping or shine stuttering. It's this new thing they added as a weapon, a selectable weapon in Mega Maker that's not in any of the other Mega Man games. It's kind of inspired by Super Smash Bros. And it's this thing right here that's kind of like a shield. Now if you hold it, it'll deflect shots from any enemies, including bosses. But if you use it while you're in air, it kind of slows you down. I don't know if you can see that. Now, something you can do is actually jump in the air and rapid tap, like kind of rapid fire it, and it'll slow you down significantly and kind of study you through the air and allow you to get to places that you wouldn't normally be able to get to with a normal jump. Just like that. It's extremely useful in platforming levels, and you can base a lot of cool things around that shine effect. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. That was just a few things. There's people are figuring out new stuff about Mega Maker every day and coming up with some very interesting level ideas and level mechanics. And it's only going to get more and more as they hopefully release more things and update and more people start playing and building levels. So keep an eye on that. If you want me to demonstrate some more things, let me know. I may come up with some more and do another tips and tricks video. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitch. And I will see you next time. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and hit that bell icon to get notifications when I upload new videos. You can follow me on Twitch to watch my live streams, and follow me on Twitter and Facebook to keep up with the latest announcements. And be sure to check out my Patreon page, which really helps me make more new content. Thanks.